I have links in the module for this week for chapter 10.3 in the textbook. So you should review that. I will tell you that there are a couple questions on the quiz that come from there. So go ahead and have that open before you take the quiz, kind of similar to what we've been doing with the PowerPoints. One of the easiest ways to think about and learn about creating an outline is to look at an actual outline. So I have a couple in the course that are good ones, and you are welcome to use those, and they can help guide you as you think about creating your own outline. This particular outline was used by a student a number of years ago. I asked permission to use it as a sample. This was a student who was a criminal justice major. And when we were choosing topics, she said she wanted to do something about the death penalty. Now, this was an informative presentation, so I had some immediate concerns about that. But she explained that she just wanted to talk about methods of execution. And so that topic does actually work for an informative speech. What I'm showing you here is the structure less than the content of it. You can certainly use this outline, but as a sample as well as any of the others. But the first thing I want to draw your attention to is what's up here at top. So you've got the speech topic. Your specific purpose is going to be to inform. I will inform about, and then you would put whatever your topic is. The central idea is something that you would create not immediately. You want to go do some research first so that you know where you're going to focus it. We are using a previewing central idea. That means the central idea would preview the main points of your presentation. That is all stuff that's just at the top of the outline. You would not say any of this stuff during the presentation. A presentation is always going to start with just the attention getter. Now, as you see here in this introduction, there are 4 parts: attention getter, audience relevance, credibility, and the preview. Also notice that those are labeled. They are very easy and easily distinguished in the outline. You want to do the same thing. I don't care if you bold them, underline them, italicize them, that doesn't matter. You might think to yourself, well, why? Why can't I just put this all together? In our brains, when we can keep things a little bit separated, it actually helps us when we're doing the presentation. Also, by labeling them, you can make sure that you do have all of those parts. It is possible that you could combine the attention getter, say, with audience relevance. Maybe I could make those things go together. Or you could use an attention getter with your credibility. Maybe you're telling a story because you have a personal example to share. If you do that, if you combine the attention getter with either, not both, but either relevance or credibility, please just label them that way. And then the last part is always going to be the preview. So attention getter always first, preview always last, relevance and credibility. One of them could be tied to attention getter, doesn't have to be, and it doesn't necessarily matter which order you go in here in the middle. You could do credibility and then relevance or vice versa. But then the preview is always the last part of the introduction. The preview lets us know exactly what you are going to be talking to in your presentation. It helps set the stage for us so that we know what we're listening for. When we hear those things in the preview, our little brain starts to just organize them together. And then as we're in the body of the presentation, as you're talking and we're listening, we're kind of remembering some of those things that you previewed. All right, so all 4 of those parts. Transitions. These transitions are very, very important. They are what guide the audience, the listener through your presentation. If you think about using a GPS, you know how you get that message that might say in 100 feet, turn right onto some street, wherever you're looking for. Well, the transitions do that for us in the speech. They are the GPS of your presentation. When we don't have them, we might be confused about your main points. And you do not want to have an audience that's dazed and confused, because you will lose us and that's it. Our brains are done and we're just going to tune out. So in order for things to happen in the presentation, they should first be in the plan. Anytime it's in a plan and you practice with it, it is more likely to happen in the presentation. So this is why in this preparation outline, you really do have a whole lot of detail. So you're going to plan that transition. Again, notice I underlined it there just so that it kind of pops out a little bit. Now we're getting into the body of the speech. So in this particular presentation, there are 4 main points. Notice that it doesn't just say main point 1, it is hanging. And then we have our subpoints. These are the details that relate back to our main point. I don't care if you use 1, 2, 3, and then A, B, C. If your formatting gets a little bit weird, please do not let that take up a lot of your time. It's more important that you focus on how you are creating this and that you're trying to have that structure in there. In this particular speech, the speaker used what's called parallel subpoint structure. And so we have as the first main point is hanging, and then you'll notice there's A, B, and C. Those are subpoints and then subpoints beyond that. Have a transition to the second main point, and then we have gas chamber, again, A, B, C. And what you'll find as you read through this, and I'm not going to do this now, is you are going to see that there is similar information that the speaker is talking about. Electrocution, A, B, C. And basically what it is that where is it still allowed? What is the process? And when was it last done? Notice that there are transitions planned throughout all of these main points. Again, thinking of transitions as that roadmap, it is guiding us through the presentation. And then here we are at the last main point, lethal injection. And then that is the last main point. We want to send a signal as we pull the plug on this speech. So a little reference. And then in the conclusion, we want to have a summary. What did you just talk about? And then ending with something memorable. So some comments. One other comment I want to make as we went through here, let me go back up to the top. Sorry, it's going a little bit fast. As we went through, notice that there were these italicized and underlined things. These are the speaker's plans for the oral citations. We're going to learn more about those in another module, but I did want to point out to you that that's what that is. Planning how you're going to tell us what sources or where you got your information from is a critical part of the preparation outline. So you want to make sure that you plan those out. And then when you're converting this longer preparation outline that you would never ever use for delivering a presentation into just some speaking notes, this is the one area where you would say, okay, I'm going to do this the same exact way. All right, so just a couple comments that I could make about this. This topic was pretty unique. I continue to use this in the course because I like how it has the parallel subpoint structure. Let's go back up to here and we'll stop sharing. I like the parallel subpoint structure. And oops, go back down. And also, the speaker really planned too much information. This was to be an 8 to 10 minute presentation, and there was a lot of information. She talked fast, she went fast, you really had to stay on top. My recommendation to her would have been to reduce those main points. She did have good information. It was solid information. It was current information and relevant. So there were lots of strengths to the presentation. So hopefully these sample outlines will help you as you are looking at creating your own outline. There's another one in the course about bananas. I believe there's one that's in there about dog grooming. And so between what you have in the textbook, some of the samples in the course, and then hopefully this video, it'll give you an idea for the actual structure. Some of those decisions about what you include and don't include, those are sometimes those hard decisions that you make as a presenter to decide what is the most important information for your topic. But the structure is where we want to keep things. In order for us as listeners to be able to follow your presentation, it has to be organized and it has to make sense. The outline, the preparation outline, is where you are making sense of what you're talking about. It keeps you focused, which helps to keep us focused.